So, guys, I have a really long question here, and I'm going to just read the whole thing specifically so that you guys can see. And by the way, that was hot water. So you can see what the context of this question is. Since a spiritual awakening about 5 years ago, I keep having more and more spiritual experiences as I've welcomed them and haven't feared or rejected them. One type of spiritual experience I have is encountering people on the other side, especially while my body is asleep. When it's a loved one who has passed on or a child in my extended family yet to be born, it's usually easy emotionally. But on 2 occasions, I've left my body while asleep and encountered other souls who I've never met before, one right outside my bedroom and the other just 2 nights ago inside my bedroom. During the latest event, he looked frozen-faced, kind of stunned, making me start to become a little frightened, as he was unresponsive to me. With the arising of my fear, the man immediately disappeared, and I went back into my body. I'm internally conflicted over this. I want to stay open spiritually and loving so that I have access to the other side, including random, unplanned events like the ones I have. But seeing strangers like this in my house is a little disturbing. I've thought maybe they're dead and there's a way for me to be loving, suggesting they call for God and go to the light. However, if they're just out of body, with their bodies still alive, it seems intrusive for them to be in my home, in which case it seems I would be justified in asking them to please leave, or maybe I should get over the fear of people in here and just go along with it. This is new territory. I could use some advice and perspective. Okay. There's a lot in this. There's a lot in this comment. There's a couple things that you should be proud of yourself for. Number one, the fact that you have stepped into a position where you're having these experiences is amazing. You know, it's a great level, and I have interesting experiences myself. So I find it fascinating. Now, as far as let's start from early on, when loved ones who have passed on or children yet to be born. I've had both of those experiences, and they're beautiful experiences. I've had experiences where people I don't know do show up, but usually it's because of attachment to the house I'm in. That's happened a couple times, or they've passed away nearby and they just don't know. And when you cross over, when you start having these experiences, your resonance, your vibration has raised. You're out of body, so you're out of that lower vibration of the physical form. You're in a higher self. So people who have come out of their body are going to be attracted to the people who are there because they can relate. And actually, because you're in a position where you are not fully crossed over yourself, you have the ability to talk to them and give them, love and advice. The one who looked stunned probably had just passed. I had no idea where he was or what he was doing. And, the one thing is God is love. And the one thing I want to talk to you about is one of the lines here. Let me find it. During the latest event, he looked frozen-faced, kind of stunned, making me start to become a little frightened, as he was unresponsive to me. What is fear? Fear is an emotional reaction to some future event that may or may not happen. Fear is negatively focused uncertainty. So you looked at this person who was stunned and you went, oh, I'm not sure what this is. This is something new. This is something different. Is this good or bad? And you got negatively focused, which is what fear is. Now, when you get to that, you stop being the light. You stop being God, love and you start becoming fear, of course he went away because he's being attracted to love. He's being attracted to pure essence. And when you get fearful, of course they go away because they don't want fear, they want love, right? That's what they're going to. And so when you see someone, even in you got to realize when you talk about your house, we all in the physical world have our personal space. In the spiritual world, there's no personal space because there's no need for personal space because it's everything you see physically is an illusion. So when you go out of body, everything that you experienced here is simply illusion. And within that illusion, there are people who are vibrating higher, and you get attracted to them. And so that's why that's happening. Number one thing you could do is if somebody's like that and say, you're all right. Somebody's standing in front of you and stunned, say, you're all right. You're okay. You're in a loving place. Tell them they're in a loving place because they're the one who's stunned. They're the one who's afraid. They're the ones who's it's all new to, right? And though this experience might be new, you already had experiences with past loved ones and children who've yet to be born. So you already know that you're there. So in this circumstance, look at them as someone who doesn't know they're there yet and tell them, no, you're safe here. You're good. It's good here. And realize this, nothing can harm you there. The only thing that can harm you there is your own fears and anxieties. And there's no need for them there because if you're in that higher space, you're in the love of God. There's nothing that can harm you in that space. And really, the only harm that you can have that you should be afraid of, that we fear here in the physical, is physical harm. We get afraid of various things, right? That's the main thing. Of course, there's the fear of getting your heart broken or fear of failing and all those things. But one of the biggest ones is the fear of physical harm. It's probably the number one. And so they can't hurt you. They can't harm you, but you can help them just by being the love that God is. And when you do that, they see the way forward and they can start to vibrate higher, resonate higher themselves, and then they'll cross over. And you could even tell them, cross over. It's okay. You're safe here, and you'll be safe there. And that's what I would do in this situation. But look at it all as a gift. If you're going out of body, that's an amazing level of achievement that you've already achieved. And now because you've raised to that level, it almost is a responsibility to help those that show up needing help raising to that level and above. So that's my thought on that. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.